media, what we do is we make productions.
Mm.
That's no surprise to anyone. We make TV shows, but we also make films and series. And lately there is also a stream which is called commercial or digital revenue. And that's everything which had to do with, for example, brand licensing or YouTube and those kind of things. But if you focus on the core of the business, we make and we create beautiful productions, which can be non-scripted. So the more the TV shows and scripted, which are the series, each of them can be seen as a different kind of project. And each of the project is having potentially some treasury connection. So each of the productions requires an investment. So an analysis, is it profitable? What is the working capital consumption? How can we fund this? What is the peak funding? What is the credit risk on the counterparty? Do we have any foreign exchange risk on it? I think, for example, of a production of a UK or NL or France entity, which is shooting a production in Canada, for example, with spending Canadian dollar. Very simple example. All these things can happen in media, and that's basically production by production or entity by entity. So these are just a few of the interesting touch points with the business, as you see in Treasury, in a media production company. What's next is that the company has quite an international footprint, as you can see. We're in over 20 countries. And if you operate in 20 countries, by nature, you will have different kind of challenges in each of them. So if you do a production in Brazil, it has a different dynamic than you do it in continental Europe or in the UK or in Australia, for example. And so that's interesting, and that's driving how you want to organize, but also what kind of treasury considerations do you have for each situation. So that's the international footprint. Then, of course, what's interesting is how you're organized. So management-wise, but also shareholder-wise. It's no surprise that if there's a growth strategy with one strategic partner and one private equity partner, that's giving some dynamics, but all in a bad way. But the company is having a growth strategy, also has a lot of debt on its books. Also had to do with history, but also with the strategy. And yeah, that needs to be serviced. Comes with a capital structure. Capital structure comes with a certain rating, and a rating has an impact on what kind of things you can finance out of your own working capital, or whether you need to apply some structured financing, or you need to have very tight working capital management. And in Endemol Shine, we actually do a little bit of everything there. So that's a very dynamic treasury setup, I have to say. So for us, when we joined, we saw a company with a high leverage, with some treasury challenges, nothing else than any other treasury, I would say. But we also saw great momentum because the Endemol Shine business were previously separate businesses. They merged and was still in the middle of optimization, newly found company. And that's great to be part of.